If you're questioning where your manifestation is, or better yet, maybe you're thinking there's something else I can tweak with my manifestation game. Or maybe you're just new to manifestation. We're going to talk about something that is so powerful to change in your manifestation game that I'm telling you confidently that with this little tweak in how we handle our consciousness, you're going to have change in your reality. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are all doing fabulous. I hope you are all deciding to be the versions of yourself that have exactly whatever it is that you're manifesting. Yes, I mean literally deciding to be a specific version of yourself, because there are infinite versions of you. There's a version of you that's literally having exactly whatever it is that you're manifesting. And your only real job is to decide that's who you are, embody that version of self. Another way of saying that is getting into that state. So I hope that's what you're doing. But if not, then this might just be the video for you. Just saying. Skipping through the typical intro, I'm just going to say any way to work with me and connect with me is in the drop box below. All that info is down below. Down below. Okay? It might have like 3 dots. It might say more, but click it. Or like a little gray box with a downward arrow, light looking arrow thingy. Click it. That has all the info on where to find me and how to work with me. Okay, so let's jump in. To be honest, this video was inspired from one of my coaching calls yesterday. And of course, because our I amness, our consciousness, our universe, whatever you want to call it, I believe is always guiding us. I don't think there are any coincidences, just like it's not a coincidence that I landed on this page in one of my Neville Goddard books. So we all know Neville. If you're new to manifestation, Neville Goddard is probably someone you would like to, Google and read a couple of books on, or listen to the audiobooks, which I'm sure there are free versions here on YouTube, as there is endless free content on manifestation. So the idea behind today's video is, listen, let's just be real. Every single one of us has moments where we are asking, what is wrong? Why is my manifestation not here yet? What am I doing wrong? Or does this really work? And yeah, it does. But I've also heard statements like, Kim, I've been in the state. Where's my manifestation? Why isn't this working? I know I've been in the state. And, like I've said before in plenty of my over 900 videos, that I believe you. I believe that you have been actively doing your manifestation routines, techniques, whatever you want to call it, your manifestation game. I believe you. And I do believe that you were in a state. I'm not questioning you on that. But here is a little tip that I think will be game-changing for some of you. Game-changing. And for others, it might just point out, on top of it being game-changing for you, it's going to point out what you have probably been ignoring and probably allowing to go on a little bit too long. Okay? So let's jump in. I'm going to start off with reading, of course, a little bit of Neville. Don't worry. It'll be painless and it'll be quick. So just listen, okay? And of course, as per usual, I will Kim it down so it makes sense, right? Because Neville sometimes can sound like we're reading hieroglyphics. I'm just going to say it, okay? Let's jump in. As the worlds were framed by the word of God, so we as imitators of God, as dear children, create the conditions and circumstances of our lives by our all-powerful human inner words. Without practice, the most profound knowledge of the game would produce no desired results. To him that knoweth to do good, that is, knoweth the rules of manifestation, and doeth it, not to him it is sin. In other words, he will miss his mark and fail to realize his goal. In other words, I've said this before, that sinning, the definition of sin really is to not use your new knowledge. We'll say new, especially if you're new here. That new knowledge of understanding that what you're thinking, who you're choosing to be and identify as on a daily basis, for some of you on a moment-to-moment basis, is how to change your world. You are always ever projecting out into reality, or you can look at it as reality is reflecting back to you who you really believe you are, which who you believe you are is the sum total of your beliefs, which are housed in your state of consciousness. Or we could look at it as the beliefs that are housed under the version of self that you're currently choosing to be. That's sin. When you have this knowledge on how to change your life and you have desires that you're not allowing yourselves to have, that's sin. That's sin. Don't be a sinner. Okay? So, in the parable of the talents, the master's condemnation of the servant who neglected to use his gift is clear and unmistakable. And having discovered one of the rules of the game of life, we risk failure by ignoring it. The talent not used, like the limb not exercised, slumbers and finally atrophies. We must be doers of the word and not hearers only, since thinking follows the tracks laid down in one's own inner conversations. Not only can we see where we are going on the playing field of life by observing our inner conversations, but also we can determine where we will go by controlling and directing our inner talking. What would you think and say and do were you already the one you want to be? Begin to think and say and do this inwardly. You are told that there is a rod in heaven that revealeth secrets. And you must always remember that heaven is within you. And to make it crystal clear who God is, where he is, and what his secrets are. Daniel continues, thy dream and the visions of thy head are these. They reveal the tracks to which you are tied and point the direction in which you are going. Let me kim some of that down for you. Having the knowledge on how to change your life and actually manifest your desires is a power. It's God's word. If you don't believe in God, insert the word you do, okay? The word of the universe. Having the knowledge and then not applying it, not only are you being a dumbass, but you're sinning. You're sinning. You're not allowing yourself to become the version of yourself who can have whatever it is you're manifesting. Okay? It's sinning. And aside from that, for any of you that are questioning, where the hell is my manifestation? My question to you is then, what the hell is your true inner conversations? What's the inner chatter that's really going on in your mind? And if you are not allowing yourself to become aware of where your mind really goes, okay, that's probably the reason why you haven't seen much change in your 3D reality. And we can change that simply by becoming aware, making it your damn mission to be aware of where your damn mind is going. How many times have you, and I am so guilty of this, how many times have you caught yourself? Let's say you just did your manifestation routine, your techniques. Let's just say that you just affirmed for you to be the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your specific person. And to give more than one example, let's say you just affirmed that you were a multimillionaire. Money is so easy to come by. Money's flowing to you like a river. You've never felt more safe and secure in your reality because you know you can easily pay all your bills, right? You both, two peeps. We're talking to two peeps, two examples. You both did your manifestation routines. And then you stopped doing your routine, your game, your technique, and you went back to 3D to go live your life. That in itself is not the problem. But how many of you have then caught yourself thinking about what you're manifesting? We'll say specific person or money. And then you caught yourself thinking shit about your specific person, or bitching or worrying about how you're going to pay a bill that just came in the mail, an unexpected bill. Now, again, I have said this so many times. I'm sure some of you are sick of hearing it, but it's not about you have to be perfect. You don't got to walk around being a manifestation robot. Shout out to Monica. Just saying, okay? We're allowed to be humans and live our 3D life. But keeping with the example, let's say you caught yourself thinking about your specific person, how they're with a third party, and then that feeling of anger and resentment, or maybe just pain, that feeling starts coming in and you go on a tangent thinking about, right? We're inner chatting here. You're thinking about all the different things you're going to say to your person as you tell them off for cheating on you, or for leaving you, for having a third party, or misleading you, as in maybe you didn't have an official relationship with your specific person. You guys were like a friends with benefits scenario, and you're feeling really upset to find out there has been a third party. So you stay in that thinking of, you know what? This is bullshit that this happened. This isn't fair. I'm going to tell that bitch off. You misled me. You allowed me to think that you and I were getting closer and closer, and the whole time you're living a double life. Now listen, just keeping it real. I'm not saying we got to be manifestation doormats either. We are always allowed to speak our authentic truth, but that's not what this video is about, okay? These are examples. So you're allowed to have your authentic opinion and voice from authenticity, I can't say the word, from whatever state you're embodying. But all the time you're spending inner chatting about your anger and resentment and hurt and pain to your specific person, you are not being aware of where your mind is going. And without meaning to, you are dropping the anchor into that reality. The reality where you are bitter and resentful and unhappy that you don't have what you want with your specific person. And you're also feeling all of those things I just listed. So you're therefore keeping that specific person and yourself locked into these versions of yourselves that you know in your heart that's not who you want to be, and that's not what you want to experience. Those of you that manifesting the money and getting frustrated because a bill came in. Authentically speaking here, it's not a big deal that you had that inner reaction of, what the hell? I'm trying to be a multimillionaire, I'm manifesting multi-millions, and now a friggin' bill comes in. It's taking the money that I've been saving up. Outside of the fact that it's okay to have a human 3D response. But that doesn't mean that we got to continue the inner bitching in our mind. So how many of you manifesting money have caught yourself having that inner chatter, maybe being angry with your specific person because they spent too much out of the checkbook this month and you're not happy and you're annoyed that your employer isn't paying you what you think you're worth? Again, I don't know how many times I got to say it because this ain't what the video is about, but authentically speaking, my Lord, Kimberly, authentically speaking, you're right, because feelings are always valid. But that doesn't mean we have to continue and have an endless inner conversation, allowing our mind to go into the direction. And this is what Neville's talking about, laying the tracks down into a reality that you don't want to stay in. And some of you are doing that so much, you're not even aware of it. Hence, why it can be game-changing for those of you who have been lazy-minded. And it is laziness. It's a habit that every single one of us starts this journey with, the habit of just letting our mind run amok. Believing the doubts, believing the fears, because we've had experiences in the 3D that validate those fears and doubts. Manifestation is getting ourselves into new habits, the new habits of identifying as being the versions of yourselves that have what you're manifesting. And from there, it's not allowing our mind to sit in the inner chatter, the inner conversations of the reality you want to leave. So your feelings are valid. We can get annoyed. We can get upset in our 3D. We're still humans having a human experience. But after that initial moment is over, and maybe we even shed some tears or had a good old-fashioned scream out of anger, it's okay. But once we're done with that, that's it. We don't need to be marinating in it. Or accept your reality as it is. Accept it as it is. And honestly, we should be doing that anyway. We should be authentically accepting our reality and knowing that of course you're going to get what you want. Of course reality is unfolding to whatever it is you're manifesting. But if you know you're guilty of consistently thinking about how upset you are with a specific person, how annoyed you are, how afraid you are that they're going to cancel plans again, it's up to you to have the due diligence, the discipline to say, despite how my body feels, I'm making a new decision. I'm not doing this today. I'm not going to sit and allow my mind to run off and tell the story of a reality I don't want to be in anymore. Again, this isn't about blaming and shaming yourself. It never is. Give yourself some damn grace, right? But it is your job to stop doing that shit. Cut the habit. Cut the habit. Have the intention to cut the habit. You know, I work with a lot of people, and of course I get asked that question a lot. Kim, where's my manifestation? I'm doing everything right. I believe you. I believe you are. What are you doing when you're not doing your manifestation game? Do you go right back to being the self that you're trying to change? That you're trying to stop embodying? Listen, everyone's guilty of wavering. We all are, okay? There ain't a person in a video on this platform that doesn't waver once in a while. That's why we don't got to be perfect. But damn, how in the Sam hell do we have the audacity to ask, where is it? When you secretly know where your mind goes. You know it does. You know it does because you wouldn't be asking where it is. You wouldn't be thinking that thought. See what I'm saying? It's scientifically impossible. Maybe not scientifically, but it's pretty impossible to be in the state of the wish fulfilled, the actual state of the wish fulfilled, or the version of self that has a manifestation, and then look at reality angry that it hasn't changed. Because you wouldn't have that perception of reality if you were really there. You just wouldn't. So instead of wasting more time judging your damn self, get back on your manifestation routine and make a damn decision that you're not going to allow yourself to have the daily bitch session in your mind. And you're going to make an actual change and mean it with a little discipline. I know y'all want what you want. I want what I want too. But I knew I had to cut that habit because I was doing it a lot. I was having consistent inner chatter or inner conversations, bitching at my SP or whoever was irritating me that day. And I would be all sorts of focused on telling that mother effer off. But what was it doing? Outside of keeping me in a victim state, what was it doing? It was laying the tracks down, as Neville says, and allowing me to stay in a reality where I was miserable. If you're consistently caught up and triggered with 3D reality, you have to ask yourself the authentic question, who do I really believe I am? Do I really think it's possible for me to manifest what I want? Do I really think it's possible that I could be a multimillionaire? And listen, it's okay to say no. I don't think it is. Okay. Now you know what your new decision is. To be the version of yourself that is aware that you absolutely could be anything you desired, including a multimillionaire. Let me give you an example of what you're doing. Picture a shopping mall, a really big one, like the Mall of America. Think of that mall. And imagine that every single store in that mall is a version of you. One of the infinite versions. So, this is a big ass mall. So you got this whole multi-level shopping mall to shop the different versions of you. And remember, each version of you has what? A whole brand new set of beliefs. You might share some of the same beliefs between different versions of yourself, but it will definitely be a different cocktail. It'll be a new mix. And instead of running to that luxury store, that's the version of you who has what you want. You keep staying or hovering between two stores that you know damn well you don't want anything in that store. Okay? So whatever it is that you don't like to buy, I'm not much of a fishing tackle kind of woman, It's not something I'm interested in. It's like me running to the fish tackle store and hovering around it with all my shitty thinking and shitty beliefs instead of allowing myself to step out and head on over to that luxury store that I would prefer to be in to look at all the handbags. You are staying in a store or a version of yourself when you don't have to. You just have to make the conscious decision to be your new self. And if that luxury store seems a million miles away from the fish tackle store, then let's stop at one of the other stores along the way. For example, if this was my consciousness, this shopping mall would be filled with luxury handbag stores, yeah? But there would be a Goose Creek candle store along the way. There'd be a Bath and Body Works. And if that luxury Chanel or Louis Vuitton store feels a million miles from where I currently am, and right now I'm currently in the Dollar Tree. Nothing wrong with a Dollar Tree though, just saying. But let's just say that's where I am right now. Okay? I'm the version of self that just started my manifestation journey. And that Louis Vuitton or Chanel store feels a million miles away from where I am right now. Then I'm not going to go right to Louis Vuitton. I'm going to stop at Goose Creek Candle first. And that's the version of me who knowingly believes, accepts, and trusts that manifestation is real and is absolutely working for me and definitely in my favor. I'm going to go there first. And let's say I get there. Guess what's going to happen? My whole perception's going to change. And from there, I'm feeling good. I'm going to head on over to Bath and Body Works. That's the version of me who is becoming comfortable with the idea that I could have what it is I'm manifesting. That I think it's possible that I could have what I'm manifesting. Maybe in this moment, I'm not ready to hop right to Louis, but I think I'm ready to hop into that reality, that store. Yeah, I'm going to Bath and Body Works. That's the version of me who is open to the idea that I could have the love relationship or the multi-millions that I'm manifesting. I'm going to go there. And I'm going to rummage around the store and shop around a little bit and get comfortable within that store, that state. And my perception of reality is going to change again. And because that's the store where I think it's possible that I could have, I think I could have it. I'm open now. That's the version of me that believes in manifestation, trusts that it's working for me, and always only in my benefit or best interest. And it's the version of me who believes that it's possible that I could have a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that specific person, and that I could be that multimillionaire. So now my perception changed because I've been in there. I think I'm ready now to hop on over to Chanel or Louis Vuitton. And that, both of those imply the version of me that believes that she's in the most loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with her specific person, or the version of me that is a multimillionaire. I believe it now. That's who I'm choosing to be. Even if my 3D reality doesn't look any different, and it very much probably won't, but that's okay. Because that version of me, that state of consciousness, comfortably knows that reality is unfolding to it, and that everything I'm experiencing is leading me to that outcome. So think of it like that. All the different versions of you is like a damn shopping mall. And you can make a list and think about what are your most favorite stores all the way down to your shit ones. Well, you're starting in the shit ones first till your perception changes. Then we can move to the next one. I am certainly not implying that you can't go from brand new manifester straight to the wish fulfilled. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm saying for any of you that feel a little limited, we might have to move through the other stores first. And that's fucking okay. That's not going to end endless time to your manifestation game. But think about who you are inner chatting with all day long. And it's not the who that's the problem. It's what's the context of the inner conversation. What's the context of it? Is it bitching and moaning because it ain't here yet? Nothing's changing. You're afraid. Reality's never going to bring you what you want. And if that's who you are being, hi, put the shopping cart away. Put it away. Put all the items back. And it's time to take that inventory of who you really believe you are and make a damn new decision. And you can do that utilizing any technique. I personally enjoy just affirming it out loud because it feels like an inner conversation / affirmation. I am the version of myself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I am the version of myself that is a multimillionaire. If that feels like too many affirmations, I am my new self. The self that has exactly what I want. That's who I am. I literally do that. That's what I do. But you see, it's easy for me to just say that and move on because I've defined who my new self is. So I know that when I say that phrase, I know what it implies. And I move along. And I don't let my mind deliberately sit in inner chatter of bitching and moaning and complaining about reality and things in reality. I'm not perfect. I might have my moments, but they are certainly fewer and far between than the version of me that started this journey. So I know you can change it because I did. And I was a douche. Okay, I bitched a lot. So I know some of you are resonating with this. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here and you made it to this end, to this long ass video, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. Come back and see me so we can hang out. You know damn well I'm obsessed with getting what I want and getting it quick. Getting it quick and easy. So really, on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.